Well, he became the face for victims of the Boston Marathon bombings, not only for this photograph, but for being able to identify one of the bombers later that day from the hospital.
That's right. Now, about a year later, Jeff Bauman is sharing his heroic story in the new book, Stronger. He joins us along with his fiancée, Erin Hurley. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
And Erin, you were, when the bomb went off, you were about a half a mile away from him, weren't you?
That's
You
correct.
were running toward the finish line.
Yep, I was running.
Jeff, where were you?
I was right at the finish line, probably about 50 yards from the finish line.
And you say you remember so much about that before and after the explosion.
Yeah. Yep.
What could you tell us?
It was crazy. It was, before it was really fun. It was, everyone was having a good time with their families and watching runners. And
Except one guy.
Right.
yeah, except one guy. He was cutting through the crowd and he bumped into me and
Cerniev.
It's Tamerlan, yep.
But your instincts about him were right. I mean, I've been to the Boston Marathon run it myself, and everyone's so focused and having fun, and you're
Yeah.
usually not alone. It's one of the things that struck you
Yeah.
when you first saw him.
Yeah, it was just odd.
And you name him right off the bat in this book. You put him down there, he's front and center.
He just looked odd. He looked out of place, and I didn't really think I wasn't gonna fight him right there or anything, and because he just looked miserable, and so I kind of just ignored him, and I turned away, and I was talking to the girl that I was there watching the race with,
And how much longer until it went off?
it must have been like 2 minutes. He was gone, and then I noticed the bag, and I thought that was very odd.
Yeah.
And then at what point did it start coming? You said you were out for about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Then it starts coming back to you where? That you're doing the math and you're thinking, wait a minute, there's that guy there, and you started telling the police about it, gave him a great description.
Yeah, I think like maybe in the ambulance. In the ambulance, I started to talk and tell people what happened. I was like, it was a bomb, and they were very surprised to hear that.
Who were you
That you
telling?
would remember.
The guy in the ambulance with me, he was talking to me, trying to keep me awake, and I was just saying what I could. At that point, I was, a little less focused on my life because I kind of thought I was going to make it because I was not laying on the sidewalk and in the pool of blood anymore.
But prior to that, there was a moment before we saw your buddy there with the cowboy hat
Yeah,
come in and put you in the
Carlos.
chair that you said you were.
I thought I was dead. Yeah, oh yeah. I was laying there, and it was just. I saw my injuries, and by then I was just, whoa.
That picture is hard for you to look at, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. Yep.
One of the people in that image, the woman pushing it, a grandmother, you have never met, have you?
I don't know if she's a
Devin?
Yeah, Devin. I don't know if she's a grandmother.
She's a little younger, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah, she's I believe she's a student at BU.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, when people see this photo, people call it iconic. And it sort of means something different to the viewer, right?
I'm amazed by it.
What do you mean?
How she was pushing me so fast and
Yeah.
how good she was with the chair. She was like 300 horsepower behind me,
Right.
When you see this now, what do you want people to see from that photo? What do you want them
It's
to know?
people helping people, and everyone saved my life on that day. A huge team of people saved my life.
So, Jeff, you lost both your legs in that. But in that moment, was the pain unbearable? Were you, how did you deal with it?
I couldn't feel any pain. I had a lot of injuries. I had burns. I had a hole in my arm. I had, my face was messed up, and I didn't feel anything. It just felt like pressure, like someone kind of squeezing my legs.
A year later, you've got this book.
Yeah.
It's called Stronger. You're stronger.
Absolutely.
What's the book about?
It's about, overcoming this tragic event, and it's kind of like it interviews my family and goes through my family, so you get to see what I was like before, and you get to see how I am after, and
Right.
it's totally different. It's totally different.
One of the things I know, Erin, and I know you struggled with guilt because, Jeff, you were there to support her for this run. You actually told him you wanted him there, and I know it had to just be on your heart. I hope that's come off of your heart since. You guys are engaged, ready to have a baby. This is literally, no pun intended, a new chapter for you as we approach the anniversary of this day. You said in the book one of the first things you loved about Jeff was that he was so nice, which you didn't think was a compliment at first. Did you know he was this strong?
No, I didn't actually. I was very surprised at how well he's handled everything. Not because, any, statement on Jeff's character, but just the kind of, just how hard this has all been. But I didn't know how he was going to react because we hadn't been dating for that long, and I just kind of was hoping that it was going to be in a positive way, and it was. So,
I had a lot of support.
Yeah.
So.
And then the Red Sox won it.
Yeah.
That made it even better, right?
That was great to watch. I mean,
Well, the new book is called Stronger. Jeff Hellman
thank you.
and Aaron Hurley, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Yeah.
very much.
Keep us posted.
Please
All right.
do. Please
will.
do.
And I'm sure it's going to be a bestseller. Good luck.
I
The book
hope-
is
I hope it will be.
outstanding. I love your family, by the way.
Great.